it's interesting that you'd have an entire town of people who's guilty, and yet some of you will naturally sympathize with others and then sort of feel like these characters, these different characters are the bad type of people or the bad characters. That's interesting that the whole town is guilty, but some of the characters are going to be sympathized with and others are going to be hated. And I want you guys to think about if you sympathize with Kat and why you would sympathize with Kat, or actually any of the characters, but we're talking about Kat. Why would you sympathize with Kat when you know she wasn't forced to kill Billy and she wasn't forced to have an abortion either? But why would you tend to sympathize with her if you do? That'd be a good thing to
Yeah,
think
and
about.
so like contrast Cat versus I want to say it was maybe Robert. No, not Robert. It was this. So there's this other man. There's this man in the movie, and he's like this kind of brawny, sort of brutish Irishman, and he ends up. The devil ends up telling a story about him and how two other men they found this good-looking guy on the island who was queer, and how they beat him up, and they beat him so bad that the man lost an eye and became blind in one eye. And so I want to say that the viewers hearing that story, which is not murder, right? And he doesn't go and murder anyone else, does he?
Right. They'll sympathize more with the girl who murders two people than they will with the man who doesn't murder somebody but beats that person up.
Right. And so that's the question that's what's kind of interesting about this movie is because it actually asks a lot of questions on the audience. And it kind of confronts your sense of morality, your judgments of value. And that's what's kind of makes this a really interesting movie to watch because at the end of it, if you think about it, it's really asking a lot of you. What do you think is right? What do you think is wrong? What did you judge? What did you find a judgment on? And what didn't you? What didn't you judge?
Right.
Yeah, so I think that was really interesting about this movie. And you tell us what you thought. You tell us what you thought about Cat versus this other guy. Did you even think that you were sympathizing with the character? Or did you even realize that you didn't even think that, oh, well, yeah, she killed some guy, but, it's okay. It wasn't her fault. Or did you kind of hate this guy because he beat up this other human being and your feelings for him were so much more whatever you were more upset with him versus how you were with Kat, or were you immediately kind of creeped out like I was, like, man, they're letting this girl who just killed all these or just killed this guy watch these little kids? Like, it didn't seem right to me. So I would really be interested to hear what you guys have to say about that.